Here we go. This is what it looks like. Kind of see the cross section there. The cottage cheese filling. Hey everyone, Dave here, and it's 4 a.m., which means it's time to make a cooking video. I'm excited though. Today we're going to make Twix bars that are keto. We're gonna make it two different ways, depending on kind of what you're looking for in your keto Twix bar. The whole 4 a.m. thing is just because I don't know. I just was awake at 4 a.m. and I was like, I can't go back to bed. I'm up now. So why not do my cooking video and make my Twix bars? Then I can enjoy them all day or later today. I don't know if I really want to eat a Twix bar at 4 a.m., but we'll see. We're gonna need our fancy dancy almond flour jar for this, guys. Okay, so this should be a relatively simple dessert recipe idea. Uh-oh, dropping my thing here. I never put like a cord or an outlet here, but honestly, for me, just finding the tools I need for the job are what take the longest, because I'm very disorganized. Finding my 8x8 just took me like 7 minutes. But that's okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make the world's best keto Twix bars with a twist. I think no one's done it this way before. We're going to make them with a cottage cheese base, increase the protein, increase the deliciousness, and to start it off, we need to preheat our oven to 350. All right, and then we're gonna take a bowl and we're gonna put 1.5 cups of almond flour into said bowl. This is my 1/4 cup measure thingy. Should I just do it 6 times? Am I crazy like that? Yeah, I'll do that. 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so 1.5 cups of almond flour go in there. We're then gonna take a 1/4 cup butter. We're actually gonna need a whole 1/2 cup, which is a full stick, but for this part of the recipe, we only need a 1/4 cup. So take a 1/4 cup and we're gonna melt it. Think like the crust for a cheesecake or something. That's of course what it makes me think of. And then 2 tablespoons of your favorite keto sweetener. I'm using Swerve. I tend to like Swerve. Hopefully it doesn't cause any issues. That's 1 and 2 tablespoons of that. Our butter sounds bubbly, so it's probably close to done. I wonder if that's melted enough. Maybe not. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And we're gonna add that 1/4 cup of butter in here as well. That's a good smell. I like the smell of melted butter. And we're just gonna mix that all together into basically a crust for the bottom of the Twix bar. Kind of crumbly. We're gonna want a parchment-lined pan. And so I've got these like pre-cut sheets. I don't know if this is really ideal for this. Maybe I'll do 2 pieces. Then we're gonna take that dough, or I don't know, dough, crust, whatever you wanna call it. We're gonna pour it into that. And we're basically gonna push it down, which is, you know, very simple. Like I said, this recipe is super easy. If you wanna have a nice keto dessert with low effort, this is gonna be for you. I feel like my parchment paper is a little over the top, literally and figuratively. See what I did there? Just because it's 4 a.m. doesn't mean I don't got dad jokes. Now, we don't want to eat the parchment paper if we can help it, so I'm going to take it out of there. It's good, though. Randomly waking up at 4 a.m. and just starting to work, it means, like, you know, you're going to get done early. You're going to be done working early today. All right, we're going to throw that in the oven at 350, and we're going to cook that crust up for 10 minutes. We're now gonna make our nougat filling for our Twix bar. See, is that what's in a Twix bar? You've got like the cookie crust and like a nougat, like a caramel really, on the top. So I think this first recipe is gonna be more like a nougat top, and then the second version will have more of a caramely top. We'll see though. Start off, we want 1/2 cup of cottage cheese blent. So we'll just take our little ninja chopper and get us a 1/2 cup of cottage cheese and put it in there. I'm still using that 1/4 cup measuring thingy. It does the job. Okay, put our lid on this puppy. Not really a puppy, guys. And then we're just gonna blend it up. I think I'm using too big of a ninja for this. Problem is, I think I got rid of my smaller one because I had a crack in it from like all the usage. But they make smaller ones of these that would definitely blend this better. Let's try that. Oh, it's getting there. One more try and we should be fully blent up, I think. Blentified. Are we happy with that? I think we are. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So we'll put this into a bowl here. Food review. All right, I will tell you, if you have the smaller little ninja chop, like $25, $30 one, it's gonna do a better job than this big one did because it's just not enough. I guess I could have made like a double or triple recipe. It probably would have worked better. I've already made the crust, so that's gonna be difficult. I just cottage cheese my computer. We are now gonna melt up 2 more tablespoons of butter from that same stick here, and add into the cottage cheese 2 tablespoons of our sweetener, 1 and 2, followed by that melted butter you hear sizzling. Here's the melted butter. Stir that up and add it in as well. And yes, I'm the only guy on YouTube using spoons instead of forks, but you have to remember that I'm kind of lazy. And the forks are in the dishwasher, which is kind of far from where I'm at right now. There's no justification. All right, so that's all good and creamy. That's got the sugar, it's got the cottage cheese, and it's got the butter. Now again, it's keto sugar. Now we're gonna let the crust finish. Once it's done, it's gonna go in the freezer or something like that to cool off. We could just set it on the stove top and let it cool off for 45 minutes or something. I think if I put it in the fridge, it'll cool a little quicker. We'll be right back once that's cooled off. So there's a problem with doing a recipe that requires you to wait for something to cool when it's 5 in the morning and you're bored and there's nothing to do. As you sit there waiting for it to cool, you get sleepy, and so now I'm feeling tired. Anyways, we want to take our cottage cheese nougat, and we're gonna put it onto the cooled crust here, the bottom cookie layer, like so. And then we're actually gonna cool it in the fridge, I believe. No, maybe not, I don't know. I don't remember. I'll look at the instructions in a second. Let's just spread this out. I realized I could have started working on the second variation of this. I just didn't realize how long it took things to cool. I've just been sitting there and I keep coming over and touching this to see if it's cool, and it's not yet. All right, so spread out the nougat layer. Hopefully this is delicious. I'll be honest, it still wasn't 100% cool. It was much cooler than when it first came out, but it wasn't like perfectly cool. Yeah, so we're gonna put that in the freezer for like 20 minutes, and then we're gonna put our chocolate topping on it. I don't know, I'm feeling kind of lazy. I may not make the second version. The reason is it would require another 8x8 pan, which I don't have. But it could be an idea for the next video. It's got a chewy collagen caramel layer. But I might just do this one because, like I said, it's early in the morning, guys, and sometimes we do that. Let me tell you this, though. This recipe really is incredibly easy. If you think about what we did, now we still have one more step for this recipe to finalize it, and then we got to taste test it. So there's still more to come, but I don't think I'm gonna do the collagen one because, first of all, I'm nervous it'll be gross. And second of all, mostly laziness. I feel like you're not gonna find another cooking channel that's so brutally honest with you as this one. Cooking with Dave, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Now, this cottage cheese Twix bar, it's supposed to make 12 bars. You're supposed to cut it into 12 different bars. Once that's done, it should be 199 calories a bar. 18 grams of fat, 6 carbs, 4 fiber, so that's 2 net carbs, doesn't know how that works, and then protein of 4.5 grams per bar. So a really nice, solid, well-balanced dessert for you once it's done. Let's wait for that to chill. We'll be right back to do the final step. It's gonna be awesome. All right, so this is set, a decent amount. We wanna make our chocolate topping now. And again, keeping with the theme that this is just an incredibly easy dessert option if you're on keto, that you can make ahead and have over multiple days. You just wanna take 3/4 cups of keto chocolate chips, such as Lily's, whatever brand you like. I like the Lily's. And our last 2 tablespoons of butter from earlier. We've used a whole stick now. And we're just gonna melt it up in the microwave. And then it's gonna go over the top of this, and then it's gonna go in the fridge to set, or freezer. Freezer's like half hour, fridge is like an hour. All right, so that has been melted. It's like a minute in the microwave. Hopefully this is like enough to get some full coverage here. Maybe I'll do it a little longer, because it's not quite loose enough. This seems better. So I'm just kind of dropping the chocolate in, layering it on top in a beautiful fashion as a pro chef. Just kidding, not a pro chef, guys. Haven't said it in a little bit. Just gotta remind you. I'm sure you're watching and being like, what is this guy doing? You know, we do our best. I feel like I need a little more. I'll make it work. What I need is like a spatula. Just spread it out evenly, like so. There we go. Our Keto Twix bars are very close to being ready to try. Like I said, fridge or freezer, based on your choice. And they say the texture is best if you do fridge. I'm not really in a rush, so I could do fridge. Yeah, I'll do fridge. I'll see you in an hour or so, and we'll try them. All right, guys, so this is our, I think, completed Keto Twix bar with cottage cheese. Let's see how it came out. It's been in the fridge for like maybe 45 minutes, so I wasn't patient enough to wait the full hour. but it felt like it was done, so I figured we could go for it. Can it come right off the, look at that, it comes right off the parchment paper. There we go. Again, you're supposed to cut this into 12 different little bars, and that would be your one little keto snack. So let's see that. I'm on the path to 9, so they're a little bit too big. But here we go. This is what it looks like. Kind of see the cross section there. The cottage cheese filling. Does it look like a Twix bar? Not really, but the idea is there. Let's see how it tastes. It's actually really nice. It's a really nice taste. It's kind of like a light, let me think. I gotta think about a Twix when I eat it. Hold on. It's good. It doesn't taste like a Twix because Twix has caramel. The cookie shell does taste like a Twix. The chocolate, the Lily's, I think if I really wanted it to be Twix-like, I'd use milk chocolate, and I use dark chocolate Lily's. So you might want to try the milk chocolate Lily's to get more of a normal candy bar taste. And that filling is just really good. It reminds me of like vanilla ice cream or something. It's very tasty. Yeah, this is a great little keto dessert you can have in your fridge just sitting waiting for you to enjoy it after your meal or whatever. I like it a lot. It'd be interesting to try it with the milk chocolate. Like I said, it might be a little bit better. It tastes a little bit more like a candy bar, but that's really up to you what your preference is. I didn't think about that, but generally they don't make dark chocolate candy bars. They did have some dark chocolate peanut butter cups at one point that were good. But yeah, this is delicious, guys. Try it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think it's a really good choice if you're trying to be keto and have something sweet. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you next time.